Ah, yes, good tunes, good tunes. I think we're working. I think we are. Let's bring that right down. There we go. Good day to you, everybody. Commander Zorbadan D here, leader of EDA Country League. And welcome to the EDA Fuck You. It is our fleet carrier in the beta. And at the moment I am outside Cunty A3, which is the third planet with a set of rings. So this is our fleet carrier. Well, technically my fleet carrier, but this is our fleet carrier. It is open to EDA squadron members and my friends in game, and you are most welcome to dock and explore. Now, the reason for this video is if you haven't been keeping your ear to the ground, or you've been living under a rock, fleet carriers are available in the beta, and there has been a lot of conjecture about it. So many videos on YouTube from Yamix, Exegius, Obsidian Ant, you name it. Anyone who does ED content on YouTube has spoken about fleet carriers, and this is what I'm doing here now, speaking about fleet carriers to you guys. And I'm getting a message. Bloody hell. Of all the times. So, this is a fleet carrier. Unfortunately, no livery is available, so I can't change how it looks. This is your standard run-of-the-mill $5 billion worth of fleet carrier. Now, because the beta was snapshotted from 2 weeks ago, I've pretty much had to sell all of my ships, even the ones down in the Pleiades, in the beta, to be able to afford this. Now, I've only left myself my hauler and my Python, and they're both. My hauler is docked in this fleet carrier, and my Python's in Hughes Enterprise. What we're going to do, we're going to go through what the fleet carrier does, its services available, how much they cost, what these fleet carriers do to our background simulation, working for EDA Country League in our little area of space, and what me and the leadership of EDA are probably going to do with them. Now, from the outset, when fleet carriers do arrive in the main game, we are probably going to, I am going to be getting one for EDA use. I'll say that straight away, so you guys don't have to watch this entire video. It might be a long video, so you just have to bear with me. So, EDA will most likely get one. We will probably, it will be parked in Cunty, and it probably will have the same name as Fuck You. So, there are some reasons for and against, and I think just as my role as not only leading this BGS and also taking care of all you guys in the Discord and in the game, it's also my job to provide gameplay for you guys. One of the reasons I took on this role as running the BGS and taking charge of most things is that I want to give you guys an opportunity to play the game in the same time zone. And I'm seeing everyone mining last week. It was really good to see, and I was very happy with how many people were on, talking, having fun, laughing, carrying on, and that's my job. My job is wanting to give you guys something to do in this game. So let's jump straight into it. So this is the fleet carrier. It has 8 large pads, 4 medium and 2 small. So there's your 8 pads there, large pads. You got your 2 mediums there, 2 smalls there, 2 over there, another 2 mediums there. Quite a large ship. It looks, I got to say, the design looks really, really cool. Really, really cool. So I'm very happy with how this thing looks. FDev have done a pretty good job. This is what they call the Carrier Admin Operating System. So this is the carrier management system. I will show you what it looks like through the commander screen, but essentially they are the same. So we have a summary, we have the navigation panel, budget, commodity trading, carrier services, secure trading, shipyard, outfitting, livery, and I'll move not that, I want to move me just out of the way a little bit. And then you also have carrier settings. So we're going to go through each of them, and I'm going to show you what these different things do. So the first up thing is the summary, and I'll move myself over just a little bit more so you guys can see. So this is a summary of the carrier. The carrier has a capacity of 2,500 units of whatever you want. Some of the services do take up some of that module capacity space. So at the moment, the EDA FAQ is fitted with a refuel, repair, commodity trading, and a tritium depot. Now, services will be available more once we get them, but that is just the summary of the ship. It also has a little percentages on what markets, how much the market's taken in terms of units, what the services take in units, and how much free space I have. So we'll move on to the next one. Now this is the navigation. You can see that I am jumping from country to country. When I set the navigation, it jumped to country 3A, which is not what I wanted. I wanted it parked near Hughes Enterprise. So when it comes to jumping, it takes... It's talking to me, whatever. So I'm just going to talk over this. So each jump takes an hour to load up and jump, and then there's an hour cooldown. So theoretically, you have to, if you're going to try and jump a fleet carrier out to the colonial vehicle point, you would have to theoretically log in every 2 hours, find tritium. We're going to talk about that later on. Find tritium, load up, and jump it. And you're going to have to do that every 2 hours if you want to get out to wherever you're going in a reasonable amount of time. So it doesn't take a lot to jump. From the system I picked this up was only 49 light years, so I think it's just over 40 units per 50 light years of tritium. And tritium is available in ice rings, and you have to deep core mine them. So it's not going to be easy. You can't laser mine like LTDs. You have to deep core mine for tritium, which is, in my personal opinion, not that crash hot. Now, galaxy map is just a galaxy map. We'll enter that, and we'll just pretend to go to another system. We'll go to 2337, and why can't I? And you can sort of, I'm not going to cancel the jump, but you can jump in and jump to a certain body in the system if you wanted to. So we'll go into budget next. So this is the budget screen. Now you can see that I can't move this around without moving the ship. That is a bug, and I have reported that. There's also a service tariff set to 100%. I shouldn't have done that either. But anyway, this is the budget. Now, the budget screen is where you control the carrier's money. This is changing, a big change in what this game does, and you can technically transfer money from player to player. Now, when you buy a fleet carrier, you're effectively buying another account. You've got your personal account, which you're spending the money to buy, and then you've got the carrier account, which is money that you drop into the carrier, and the carrier uses that for weekly upkeep and blah, blah, blah. We'll get into the weekly upkeep and how much it'll cost later. But you can see that, I have dumped 53 million credits into this, and its weekly upkeep is 14 million. And at the moment I've only filled 14,000 units of whatever I wanted to buy. You can see here my upkeep allocation. I can allocate a certain amount of money to upkeep, so it is technically a set and forget deal, but you definitely have to maintain, keep an eye on your carrier balance. And then you got weekly upkeep, which is the core cost, and projected costs, and you also have hull maintenance. So when you jump, you get wear and tear. You have to pay for that, and that comes out of your budget. And the deposit withdraw, you can withdraw and or deposit. I have an operational debt, Why do I have an operational debt? That's a bit odd. I have plenty of balance. I'm going to have to fix that later, but that's okay. So, get out of budget and we'll move into commodity trading. Now, commodity trading is a market that I, as a fleet carrier owner, can set. Now, we'll go into manage the market here. And here is the Commander's Fleet Carrier Market Management. So at the moment I'm buying hydrogen fuel at 110 credits a unit. We'll go into that, and for me to, I could sell it as well. I could sell it for 7. I could sell it for, you know, up to that, up to the that crazy price. Why is it? Oh, it's because I don't have any. I can't set the sell price. That's all right. We know that. So hydrogen fuel, mineral oil, I'm buying at 220, and then tritium, you can sell to the market, and that's $41,000 a unit. And then food cartridges, 130 credits. And then I have where's the? I'm buying LTDs at 80 grand a pop. So with the market, I could buy for a low price and then sell it to other people for a high price. Technically price gouge, but because it goes into the carrier's budget, not mine, I can use the profits from trade to pay for the carrier. Now that's a little bit of a bonus in terms of how we work out what we're going to do with this fleet carrier. And then there's a whole heap of new bits and pieces in the market. I do encourage you, if you can get onto the beta, look at the new items in the market. Alright, so next up is carrier services. Now this is, after this we're going to just quickly nip past settings as well. Livery is unavailable, so can't do that. So when you get a fleet carrier, you get one of 3 services. You get a bridge crew, you get commodity trading, and you get a tritium depot. That's it. I have bought, for a lot of money, a refuel station and repair crews for the fleet carrier. So when you dock to the EDA FAQ, you're able to refuel and repair. Now, with the tritium depot, commodity trading, and the bridge crew, your weekly upkeep as a minimum is 10 million credits a week. Easily done for a commander with quite a few, you know, with over 800 hours in the game. You know, it's got, you know, upwards of close to 1 to 2 billion credits. Not hard to maintain. However, that's just your base, and everything piles up on top of that. So, I've wrote this down on a bit of paper. With a refuel station, you have to purchase a refuel station. That's 40 credits. 40 million credits. Just to buy the station, and then you add another $9 million to your weekly upkeep. So you're essentially got $19 million a week in terms of just if you're not using you know, your carrier, if you're not using your carrier services to maintain the upkeep. So, as a base for this thing with you know, with a refuel station, it's $19 million a week, an extra $40 million on top of the $5 billion that you bought. The repair crews, it's an extra $58 million credits, sorry, and an extra $9 million on top in weekly upkeep. So we're getting pretty crazy here. Now the armory. Why can't I click the armory? Oh, I've got to click that. Yeah, the armory is an extra 95 million credits to have the armory installed, and that gives you another 11 million credits a week you have to pile onto it. The redemption office. The redemption office is 150 million credits and an extra $12 million, 12 million credits a week in weekly upkeep. Scroll down. The shipyard. Now, the shipyard is an absolute kicker. The shipyard is 520 million credits on top of the price of the fleet carrier. And the weekly upkeep is an extra 42 million credits. Madness. And then you have outfitting. Outfitting is an extra 390 million credits on top of the 5 billion purchase price, and an extra 36 million credits in upkeep. It's building up, and I'm going to tell you the final figures afterwards. We have the secure warehouse. Now, the secure warehouse is an extra 165 million credits and another 18 million credits in upkeep. Madness, absolute madness. So, if we were to outfit the EDA FAQ with everything available to a fleet carrier, the purchase price would be $6,418 million. That's just the purchase price for the just the purchase price, just to buy these things. And then you have an extra 147 million credits a week in upkeep. So the first year of owning a fleet carrier, EDA, me, will spend 14 billion and 62 million in credits in not only purchasing but also maintaining this fleet carrier. That is a lot of money. Now, we could use the commodity market to pay for to pay for this, but that is a lot of low temperature diamonds a week. Albeit it's not a cutter's worth, but that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to move out of here. I'm going to go into carrier management here, and this is basically the same screen. While I'm here, I might as well just try and check the navigation. I can't do that. Anyway, you can jump in systems. Now, I'll quickly go into, this is the screen that most commanders will get. Crew lounge, you can park your crew here. Redemption office, we don't have. The tritium depot. If you have tritium, if you have tritium, you can donate tritium to the carrier. Shipyard, we don't have. Secure trading, we don't have. We have the market. We have the carrier management. Livery is unfortunately unavailable, but the livery of your ship is. And then you have advanced maintenance, where you can repair the structural elements of your ship. So everything's fine there. I can repair individual internals, which is rather interesting. And then I can repair the external modules if I wanted to. No need. I don't have restock, don't have vehicles, fighters, limpets, and I can refuel the ship. There we go. And then, strange enough, you have a remote workshop, which is pretty cool. So that is essentially the fleet carrier. I really was thinking it would be a little bit cheaper. It'd be great if it was cheaper, but you know, this is what the game is. Okay, I had to stop there. Right, so moving on to what these carriers are going to do with EDA Country League and its BGS. Now, from the outset, this fleet carrier does nothing for our background simulation. It does nothing to expand into systems. It does nothing to maintain security. It's basically my mini starport that does nothing. And then EDA guys can jump in and refuel, repair, and pay me an extra for the privilege. So when it comes to BGS, as I said, this thing will serve us no purpose. And the worries that we have is that if everyone or anyone who can afford one buys one, we're going to be stuck with a heap of guys with placards saying, "Dock up my ship, I can't afford it." And that's not what we want. We don't want guys to have a bad experience with this. It's a really cool experience, correct, but we don't want our guys to have a bad experience playing the game if they can't maintain a fleet carrier. So, in terms of BGS, as I said, it serves us no purpose. We'll just have to live with it. We are definitely going to get one, but we're just going to have to live with it. And I don't want it detracting from our BGS work. So, that's all I've really got to say about that. In terms of what's this pilot's handbook here? We'll have a look in here as well. Just 1 second. Scratch my ear. So this is the Codex for the fleet carriers. Oh boy. You purchase them from Carrier Construction Dots. I went to the one in the beta. It looks really cool. Fleet carrier management. This is just what it can do. Navigation, budgeting, commodity trading services, list of services. You guys in the beta, you can all have a read of this. Outfitting, shipyard, livery, movement of fuel, tritium. Oh, hang on. Tritium is a radioactive isotope of hydrogen. The substance can be reliably mined from planetary ice rings. Tritium can be purchased as a commodity from certain economies. The amount of tritium required is dependent on the following: mass, usage, jump distance. Dock pilots may donate tritium. FSDs, maximum range of 500 light years. Frame shift jump can only be scheduled if the destination is within the fleet carrier's jump range. Jump cancellations up to 15 minutes. Okay. The pads are locked down 15 minutes prior. Security and reputation. In addition, fleet carriers are authorised to defend themselves with lethal force. System authority ships around the carrier force the laws of the governing faction. Oh. Crimes such as murder, assault and transporting illegal goods fall under this criteria. The legality of the commodities are determined by the laws of the system's governing faction. For example, the Imperial feudal system allows the trade of tobacco, whereas the federal corporate system prohibits the commodity. Being a prison colony, we don't have a lot of the naughty items. And security rating is determined by the superpower. Seeing as we're independent, everyone come in. Now, this is going to be a bit of a rant by me, but I know it has been ranted on by a few other guys. Now, if I happen to incur a massive debt, the fleet carrier will start to be decommissioned. Now, I can decommission the fleet carrier myself, and excuse me. Now pending, and it'll be pending decommission for a while. However, this is what I'm particularly not happy about, and what a lot of other people are not pleased about. Why is it doing that? Stop it. Now, if you look at the screen there, this thing depreciates worse than a car. Now, you get a car and it starts to depreciate, but once it hits 100,000 kilometers, it's really depreciated. I'm only going to get a 33% return for the price of this fleet carrier after 3 months. That is absolutely ridiculous. And excuse the French, but fuck you, FDev. Fuck you. For a $5 billion purchase, well, actually, no. For a $6.418 billion purchase, and then on top of that, the $7.6 billion I'm spending to upkeep, to have a 33% return over 30 over three after the first 3 months. That is unfair and utterly ridiculous. Albeit, yeah, well, I'm still going to buy a fleet carrier, but that is unacceptable. For a $5 billion purchase and the money, I'm essentially leasing the fleet carrier. That's what I'm doing. I'm essentially, it's on a very long-term lease of where I buy this outright, I spend a lot of money on it, and if I incur a debt, I am technically going to have this thing taken away from me, like a lease. If I sell it, I'm going to get less for what I'm paid for it. Yeah, true. But a 33% after 3 months? I'm thinking a 33% after 3 years. That's perfectly fine. I'm happy with that. 3 years is a long time to have a fleet carrier. But after 3 months, that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. For a carrier that I'm effectively leasing. Excuse the rant, but that is just unacceptable. Now, when you're pending decommission, commanders who have ships docked, have an opportunity to get their ships out. And then that's it, pretty much that. Now, I've got to say, it looks really cool. It does look really cool. I'll quickly jump into the settings. Now, I've set it to squadron with my friends. Notorious commander access is allowed. Current activity, technically, is a trader. And there's your decommission button. Oh, am I going to press it? No, I'm not. Anyway, so let's here's your the only thing, the background screen there is exactly what it is. Anyway, going into carrier management, as I said, I was going to show you the budget. Now I can move the budget to 0. I could set the service tariff to 50 or whatever I wanted to. Reverse that up. There it is again. How cool is that? Looks really cool. Anyway, enough about that. Let's a quick conversation about what EDA is going to do and what you guys can do as well. So as I said, EDA is going to purchase a fleet carrier. It will be run by myself. I will technically be the owner. It will be open to EDA squadron members and my friends. The market will be set. We're going to have a conversation further about the market. It will have commonly available, or the market will be basically a way for us to maintain the weekly cost of the carrier, and I hope that we can, given time, have all the services available to it. It'll be parked in Cunty, and maybe, possibly, a second one. Now, I talked about BGS before. I don't want this fleet carrier to detract from our BGS work. We still have a lot in the background. I'm working on plans for further expansions into other systems. I don't want this fleet carrier to become a burden for us. And if it is going to become a burden, we will think long and hard about getting rid of it. I don't want people having a bad experience in the game purely just because we have to maintain a fleet carrier. When it comes to other commanders wanting to buy a fleet carrier, this is your game. You are most welcome to do whatever you want in this game. If you have the credits, if you have the 14 billion credits to outfit and run a fleet carrier for the first year, you are more than welcome to buy one. We're not stopping you. However, it is your responsibility to maintain your fleet carrier. The EDA one will be available for EDA members. Essentially, it is my responsibility to maintain it, but to provide gameplay for you guys, it will be available, and we do encourage you to use it. The So as I said, if you buy one, it's your responsibility to keep it maintained. Now, if you just buy a bog stock standard one, jump it out to the middle of nowhere, that's fine. You're more than welcome to do that. But as I said, it's your responsibility. And as I mentioned before, we don't want guys with placards saying, hey, help my fleet carrier, otherwise I'm going to lose it. So please think long and hard about the personal cost in terms of gameplay for you and the cost to your game. You may have a few billion credits, that's cool, but would you rather be flying around in a combat zone or bounty hunting with us on a Friday night, or would you rather be mining tritium? I really need everyone to think about it, because it is a massive investment for what is effectively a leased ship. So please think long and hard about what you are going to do with your fleet carrier. Now, I am going to stop the stream, or stop the video here. I'm using my streaming software. Thank you all very much. There's going to be further conversations in Discord, but I really wanted to talk to you guys in person about what myself as leading EDA, what the general consensus is with our leadership team in Discord and here in Facebook and in NARA, what we think about these things. And yes, as I said, we are going to get one. It will be available in Cunty, and we don't want this this fleet carrier to be a burden. So guys, I'm going to stop it there, but I'm going to show the jump as well, in case you guys haven't seen it in case you guys haven't seen it. So I'm going to have to sit here for a few minutes and jump into external camera with my ship. But guys, thank you very much. Conversations will be had in Discord further down the piece. So if you think that we're wrong, and if you think that we should have fleet carriers in every system and explorer carriers, pipe up, let us know what you think. We are open to suggestions, but the general consensus is between all of us in the leadership group is that yes, we are going to get one. We are going to have to spend a lot of money maintaining it. We're going to try and not let it detract from our work in the background simulation. And if you buy one, it's your responsibility. So guys, thank you all very much. See you. Bye.